What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? T to the M to the IDD, and we are finally here with 10 things that you should know about the new AD200 Pro Mark II. Now, I want to make this short, sweet, and simple. And so what I did was come up with the 10 major differences between the AD200 and the AD200 Pro Mark II. Now, this is just the AD200. The AD200 Pro and the AD200 have very minimal differences. So I think it is still a viable solution to compare these two with the minimal amount of differences between the Pro and the regular version. So let's hop into it. What is different? What do we need to know? And also at the end, I'll pretty much tell you my synopsis about the AD200 Pro, if I think you should get it, and what you can get with this AD200 Pro Mark II to make that power within this flash go a bit further. All right, so let's go. Number one is the recycle time. 1.8 second recycle time at full power compared to 2 seconds versus the AD200. It's not much, but when you are shooting, I promise sometimes you can recognize that difference between 1.8 and 2 seconds. Number two, this is probably one of the best improvements of the AD200 Pro Mark II, because I promise on the regular AD200 it is almost useless, worthless, and especially with the bare bulb mount, it does not even have a modeling lamp. So that is number two. It has an improved modeling lamp on the Fresnel head, and on the bare bulb they have included a modeling lamp, which did not exist at first. That is a big plus. To even add more on the modeling lamp, you can even adjust the modeling lamp's color temperature, which you cannot do that on the AD200. So that is a great feature to have. Another thing that I immediately noticed between the two is the enhanced screen quality. This has a better screen, better brightness, and just a better build overall. You get a lot more scratches with this, where this is kind of almost a scratch proof surface. So it takes a little bit more to beat this one up versus this one. Number four, we have user interface. They totally changed the user interface with the AD2 Pro Mark II, which comes with a few differences. One is the way that you change the channel and the group, but also they added some wireless sync functionality. So if you have that X3 trigger, you can wirelessly sync to this and control the channel and group and settings within this AD200 Mark II. Number five, an active cooling fan. See, on the previous version, it did not have a fan at all. It was kind of more of a passive cooling. But here, you see they have a dedicated active cooler fan to prevent the AD200 Pro Mark II from overheating. Now, me personally, I haven't experienced much overheating with my previous AD200, but I have heard stories of people who have. And so for them to implement an active cooling fan definitely will help you keep your unit cool, especially if you shoot out on location during the hot sunny days like I do. Number six, there is a difference from turning this unit on. The on and off switch for the regular AD200 is simply on its side. Now, I never really had a problem with that, but with the AD200 Pro Mark II, there's actually a two-step configuration to turn it on. You have a soft press, and then you have a wheel turn, and then that will turn it on. Now, I know some preventative measures of why they implemented this to stop it from, maybe if you have it in a carrying case, it won't turn on and drain your battery, but that is another difference that I noticed. Number 7, this is extremely crucial to me because whether I'm shooting indoors or I'm shooting outdoors, I love to have complete control of my unit, and the fidelity of the power is really crucial. A lot of times when it starts to become nighttime shooting outside, you don't need much light, and so to be able to power this down to 1/512 versus 1/28 on the original AD200 is a big bonus. Not only that, you can go back and use that modeling lamp that they have improved on too. So the power fidelity in the AD200 Pro Mark II is another difference that I found. Number 8 is the group indicator that they implemented, and this allows you to see which light is on which group. Here you see as red, and that coordinates to a certain group. So imagine if you have multiple lights, you can easily determine which light is on which group and then control them from that point. So I think that's actually a nice touch, because a lot of times maybe in studio I might be setting up a 3-light setup and I might not know which is A, which is B, which is C, and so that is a nice touch. Number 9, I typically don't need this, but it is a great feature to have because when I travel, I typically have multiple shoots set up one after the other, and so I have to be cognizant of my battery power level. And so here they actually have a port where you can add an external battery pack, and so you don't have to rely on the battery here, but you can add one to your AD200 and have more shots. Number 10, which I thought was very noteworthy because I've ran into this problem a few times, is the actual adapter to connect your AD200. One of the things that I do is use umbrellas, and the previous version of this adapter for the regular AD200 usually use tension to hold in the umbrella, but here they actually added a nice knob that can lock it in place. That is a big bonus. Now, I will say these knobs kind of interfere with each other, so that might be a little bit of a problem, but I would definitely take this over the previous model. So that is 10 things, cut, quick, and dry, that is different from the AD200 versus the AD200 Pro Mark II. Now, do I think you should get it? That does all depend. If it was me and I could choose between the two at this moment, I would definitely go for the upgrade because of the reasons that I have mentioned. You get the same amount of shots, which is 500 for both, but those improvements are noteworthy. Now, what would I do in terms of adding a little bit more and taking that AD200 a little bit further? Well, one thing I do not use off-camera flash without is a ND filter. That can allow you to get the most power out of your flash. 200 without having to go into high-speed sync can take you very far with off-camera flash outside. Now, let me know in the comments below, how long have you had an AD200? Are you just getting the AD200? And what do you think? I think I bought mine back in 2020. It's still working, still gets the job done. So it is the GOAT of off-camera flash. Peace.